Storms fever is taking over the nation, so we thought this week we'd check in with some diehard fans.
We thrive in September. This is our year.
Are you nervous about losing another prelim?
Fuck. Oh, Flagman. Oh, Flagman. Oh.
Football's coming home, I hear.
Marvellous.
We'll be there.
Go Bulldogs!
So, sir, how do you think the Brisbane Lions will go in the finals this year?
Brisbane Lions? What's that?
The AFL team?
AFL? I don't watch that shit. We've already built a dynasty, but there's always room for one more. Make me like Dusty! Buddy, kicked 1,000 goals. Buddy, I'm coming.
MacPack podcast.
We're back.
My name's Jay McKenna, and to my left this week in order of the ragiest MacPack member on the panel is my little brother Joe. How are you, Jaboy?
Jake, this week I've been getting rage on the road.
That's my right. Coming in at 6'1" as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother of the pack, who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you?
I'm usually a very, very calm driver until someone pisses me off.
Now, boys, plenty to chat about on this week's episode of the podcast. Apparently, Joe got into a little bit of road rage.
I'm excited to hear about
Which we'll discuss off the top. Riley, we discuss a story from high school where you played the Rebellion.
I'm a bit of a badass.
We chat about gender reveals and
Do
the
you
fact
like 'em?
and the fact that I picked up an old nana
Typical.
last week, and we also have a record number of heroes to give out this week on the MacPack podcast because they helped us out earlier in the week. It's a massive episode of the MacPack podcast, so let's get into it. Boys,
Brother Mingos.
How are we all well?
Jake, this week I've been getting angry. And I have to say, I'm proud about it.
Oh!
Run us through.
He's happy to
So-
be angry.
You guys heard of road rage? Obviously, we talked about it on the intro.
I'm familiar.
It's something that often I would like to partake in. I'd like to, give it to someone.
You're not a very angry dude, though.
Well, that's the thing. I'm pretty blasé, especially on the road. And usually, something happens, you might get cut off. That's sort of a classic road rage instance. Someone cuts you off, someone steals your car park, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty chill about it. I don't really mind.
Yep.
Usually something will happen like that, and I'll think like, whoa, normally I'm like, worry for my safety if someone's cutting me off. And I very infrequently remember to use the old horn.
The horn dog.
Usually I forget about it. Someone will cut me off, and we're like, oh, gee, what the hell? And then we're going on, and they're like, oh, I should have tooted. That would have been a classic toot moment.
It gets too late. I've definitely been in a situation where I've been like,
And
you could have used the horn.
Usually, I'm like, I could have horned if I didn't, regret. But that's it. I sort of go on about my day. But this, I was driving down, I think like South Street. I was in the middle lane, and the bus lane was next to me. It wasn't a bus lane at the time, but there was a lane next to me, and a big four-wheel drive pulled out. I thought to go in the left lane, but he actually pulled out right into the middle lane where I actually had to brake, otherwise it would hit him.
Okay,
He pulled out in front of me.
Are you in the car by yourself?
No, I was with Kira as well. I was like, I want to impress the ladies. You know how it is.
Gotta impress the babe.
Yeah, so he pulls out in front of me, and I'm like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity. He's like,
Are you close to home, or are you driving away from home?
No, I was driving like to Freo.
Okay.
So yeah, I hit the brake first, obviously safety first, and then I go to two, just like hit it down, and it didn't really go first time. My horn's actually a bit faulty. I didn't realize until now because I infrequently use it. But I went once and it didn't go, and I was like, that's it, I'm gonna fucking give it to him. So I went and it was like, it's such a good feeling to just give it to them. Like they were in the wrong, I was in the right, and they would have seen me. I don't know how they wouldn't have seen me. So I gave them the toot, and then I was like, fuck yeah. Let's go. Let's fucking road rage this bitch.
I went in alpha mode.
And then I was like, kind of like, I don't know, feel like the adrenaline. I just toot at this guy.
I fucking rear-ended the
And
car.
I was like, yeah. That's the thing, but
Smashed straight into the back of him.
You
Fuck
fucking
him.
got out of my car at the red light and I ripped him out of the car. And I killed the mother.
so usually that would happen. I would think, like dad, like whatever, they mustn't have seen me, or
Yeah.
I know they misjudged the time, like whatever.
Not today.
Wouldn't mind, but yeah, once
He
I
was being a
hit
prick.
once I hit the toad, I was just feeling it. I was feeling like
Adrenaline.
I was like, what
That's
this guy?
that's adrenaline.
This guy insulted my honor, and I let him have it. And then I was even thinking like, for the rest of it, like I was like,
Were you behind him for the rest of the trip?
no, I switched lanes. Like, have a look at the cunt. Yeah, I switched
You
lanes.
you would have been below him. Your car's so low.
In more ways
And
than
he's in a
one.
4B. Yeah.
I switched lanes.
What
and-
4B was it? A nice
Oh,
one.
don't know. It was a dark color.
Nice. Was it
Doesn't
nice?
That's for sure.
Doesn't matter what car the car is.
And
For sure. Anyway, go on.
yeah, so I switched lanes and I go like have a look at this, this fuck. And that was it. Like, and then I had a look and it was like, whatever.
Who was
Did he
it?
look at you?
No, I didn't actually quite see it. They had quite dark tinting.
Oh,
Probably another law that they're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, and then the whole way, like I was kind of like,
A new wave.
like, because I kind of like sped up to like give him a look, like, and then the whole time, this whole car ride, I was kind of like thinking, like, because I'd overtaken at this point, not to brag, but I was in front of him, and I just like kept looking at him, I was like, damn, this is crazy, like,
I tooted him.
it's quite a like, you're both in your car, you don't know where the other person's going. It's like quite an intense situation.
Oh,
But then there was we were later down the road, and there was like a merge happening.
Oh no.
And this person next to me, like, wasn't, doing an appropriate merge.
This guy.
And I was just,
Inappropriate.
normally I would like back off or whatever, but I was just giving it,
Oh
I give it to him, I was boxing him in. Yeah. It's quite exhilarating. So what I think is that I can see how people get caught up in this road rage stuff. It's quite the high. And then on the way back home today,
Oh no.
I was so what I do is I turn left on South Street.
Yeah.
Shout out South Street, second time in this story. But yeah, and there was a woman in front of me. She had a nice dog, I noticed.
Fucking killed the cunt.
Yeah, she was having a dog. I was listening to a podcast. Won't name them. It was, I don't want to give support to a non-MacPack podcast, but I was listening to a podcast, quite enjoying it actually. There were some good ones out there. And then I noticed like, the cars are moving up, but this car in front of me not moving. So I fucking let him know.
You tooted him again.
Did him again, yeah.
Actually.
Just a polite one,
Well, what's that like?
Well, they were going
Give us a-
slow
give us
and
a
you tooted.
demonstration.
Like,
They were going slow and you tooted.
No, they must have been
Dead.
on their phone or something. Like they didn't
yeah.
notice. I gave him a polite little toot.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, I guess it's a bit of like a PSA to like, road rage. It can be quiet.
One of your mates is
Yeah.
one of the greatest road rages I've ever experienced. And he's not a good driver.
I think.
Do you know who I'm talking about, Riley?
I think so.
Yeah, cool.
Drives a red car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually.
Drive is a very loose,
Aims.
term. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to. So this guy, this all happened in one night. So he used to drive me to basketball. We
Yeah.
both lived pretty close, and he was like, my house was on the way. He would pick me up on the way.
Yep.
Quite a nice little arrangement. And then I got into his car one night. We were going to a concert. We went to see Car Seat Headrest, and he was like,
How
"Oh yeah,"
fitting.
he was like, "I'll give you a lift," and I was thinking like, "Oh, that's great. Now I can have a couple drinks." Sure, have a good time, because I thought, yeah, this would be nice. And then he picks me up. We're driving to the concert, and the concert was at the Rosemount.
Yep.
So we're going down the freeway, right? And he's actually, like there's, when you're on the freeway and there's like bits where like the entries for other cars. So you're already on the freeway and other cars.
Oh
are on
yeah,
the
the little
entry.
merge area.
So they get onto a lane that like merges.
Slipstream.
Yeah, dude was just like not letting people in.
Oh
like,
no.
like their lane's ending and it's just like matching their speed. I was quite scared
I hate when
actually.
people do that.
I was quite scared, and then
I've never seen anyone do that.
I
I've
was
gotten
like, but the
close.
thing is, he's not doing it aggressively.
He's just doing it out of ignorance.
I don't know if he was even looking, or he was like matching their
He's
speed.
looking.
He was like matching their speed, like thinking like, oh, they're probably like going the right speed or whatever. But yeah, it's quite scary because if it gets to the end of the road, they might just like turn in. Anyway, we're getting along, and then there were a few other like questionable decisions on the road. I just when he dropped the old chestnut. Never actually driven on the freeway before.
Oh my god. Not even while learning.
Quite maybe not never alone. 'Cause this was like around when we were like everyone was getting their P's and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What a nugget of wisdom.
yeah, I know. We're halfway down the freeway. I've still got another 1.5 freeway trips, to get back home, hopefully, in the night. We then get there and we park on like a side street.
Yeah.
And it's one of those streets where I really hate it. It's like a proper street, and then the car park's like perpendicular.
Yeah, explain that
so
word.
that means
for
at a
everyone.
right angle.
Okay, yeah.
So like, yeah, so it's like road is going one way, and then just straight on the other way. Like you pull into a normal car park, but it's like a road.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So anyway, so we parked there, all good. The park was actually fine. Then when we're going to leave, it's quite scary because like, especially if you're in a little car, you can't really see
Okay,
the cars
yeah,
on
I
it. And
gotcha,
he's just,
yep.
so he just kind of yeets it out
Wow.
back onto the road.
Without looking.
Luckily, we were all right.
Without
but-
looking. No one ever looked.
Oh, maybe he looked, but it was quite scary still. Anyway, this is the worst thing that happened. So we then get back home.
How? How is none of this the worst?
We get back home. Freeway ride home was fine, but then we get back on and we're
Second, he's already been on the freeway once, so he's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
experienced.
Yeah, he's learned now.
He
he's
knows.
popped his freeway cherry, the banana cherry.
Jesus.
100 Ks. That's
So we're
good.
pulling back, and there's a road where you sort of pull off the like Leach Highway, like one of the highways, onto just a normal double-sided street, right?
Yeah.
So there's one lane on one side, one lane on the other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a this choice is the only one that an experienced driver would appreciate. So instead of going on the left, which is where we drive in Australia, a little trick, if you go on the right side, yeah, you can still do that. No one's going to stop you. But we did drive on the wrong side of the road for a considerable amount of time. And there are trees and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's like trees on the what do you call it? The median strip.
Yeah.
So anyway, so pulls
Oh,
out.
so there's a median
Just
strip.
dropped his name. Anyway,
There's a median strip.
So
yeah,
he's
there's,
gone
like,
past
there's
the
like
median
trees and stuff.
Over
It's
the
not a-
island.
No, it's not a proper median strip, but there's like trees. So
Oh, you can't cross.
so
if
there's
someone's
like
coming at you, you can't cross.
there's like a
No, you're fucked.
so there's a
You're fucked.
Head to head.
there's two lanes, right?
Yeah.
There's two lanes, and then they're at the turn.
Yeah.
They're like blocked by a fair bit of concrete in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
We're then on the wrong side of the highway. We're like turning off the highway, so we're in the other lane.
Yeah, yeah.
He's chose to go on the right side, and then I'm like, oh, like, no, like that's not the right one. But then you can't really like, change. You're like halfway on the other side of the lane and the freeway, so we just keep going. And I'm like, we're on the wrong side of the road, like wrong side of the road. We managed to get home safe.
So were there cars
How
that
did he-
could have come at you? Yeah, 100%.
There could have been. I
What
don't
time of day was it? Leach
It was
so
after
busy.
the concert, so it would have been like around like 9, 10.
There's
It
still
wasn't too
cars
late,
going
yeah.
down Leach.
But it was quite scary. And then I don't think he drove me anywhere. I think I was always the designated driver.
Yeah, fair.
Good call.
Going forward, yeah, we are going to a concert with him next year. It's up in Tujade in Red Hill.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, he said he'll drive.
Yeah, nice.
Fuck.
All right. Well, we might say our farewells before we go to the concert, just in case.
Good call. Boys, I was thinking the other day about some times that I've faced troubles with authority.
Oh yes.
I'm not a massive fan of authority. I don't really
No,
like...
you don't. You don't have much respect for authority.
I don't mind when people ask me to do something, but I don't like when people tell me to do something and they're rude about it.
Yeah, so it's like you give people respect back when you're given respect,
That's exactly it.
which is not often.
And this was a time which took me back to year 12.
Yes.
2 years ago, circa 2020. This was a story from year 12, the cross-country day. Let's just give the illusion that we're back there, right, boys? Now
Yes.
we're in 2020, right? Is that
2020, one of the goat years.
Yeah, it's one of the greater years. COVID was striking. But this was around later in the year. Cross-country day, right?
Yes.
So we have a park across the road from our school called Piney Lakes.
Yep.
And that's where we race. We race around the entire massive park. And it's like a 3-4K run or whatever, right? But toward the latter years of school, my knees blew out. And I wasn't that good at running long distances anymore.
Yes.
Early for the knees to blow out. As a man who's had his knees blow out.
Mm.
17.
And obviously,
It's young.
cross country, it's a long day. And there's not like crazy things happening. It's just people run.
People running. Yeah.
You don't see them for fucking 40 minutes and they come back. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
It's a bit of a-
Not great to watch.
No,
Yeah.
and it's not great to do when you can't run as well because you're one of the people that it takes 40 minutes for. So obviously you suss a few of the lads or some girls to walk with, like you just want to walk it through.
Yeah. Smooth, yep.
And but I still get bored. You know, you can walk and talk, but you can't walk and talk and have that much fun for that long. And I've done it for the last 3 years, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to bring something to entertain me, boys. I'm going to bring a soccer ball.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh
That's fair
yeah,
enough.
it's a sports carnival.
Sports
Bringing
carnival.
sporting equipment.
Going to bring a ball. Why not? You
Makes
know?
sense. Yeah.
You know, we can kick it around while the races are going, while we're not racing, and then when we do race, we can kick it to each other, or I'll just dribble it because I'm a fan of basketball, so I'll just dribble it all the way.
Sounds fun. Yeah, harmless fun.
No harm done. But I'm walking toward the oval, right? So that the siren goes off and it's like, everyone go to the oval, everyone walk across the road together, like chaperoned by the teachers. So I go to my locker, grab the soccer ball, and I'm like walking with it under my arm. And one of my favourite teachers, I'm going to call her Miss P.
Okay, yep.
She said to me, she saw me with the ball and she was like, oh, Riley, probably don't bring the ball over. Just chuck it in your locker for me.
Yeah.
We had a good relationship, me and Miss P. And she was like, Riley, probably don't bring that ball over.
Did she explain why?
She said, no, she was just like, what are you doing with the ball? And I was like, oh, I'm going to put it in my locker, miss. And she was like, okay. All right.
So you lied.
A nice lie off the
Oh,
bat.
yeah. I was like, I knew what she was going to say. I was like, miss, I'm going to go put it in my locker. No stress.
So far, Riley 1, teacher 0.
Right. So then we walk over to the oval, and of course, I bring the ball.
Oh, okay.
So you lied about
so
you
locker
lied about
over
what
it
you were
then.
going to do, put it in the locker,
Mm-hmm.
and then you didn't do it. So the lies cancel out.
That's exactly it, right? But so we did have a good relationship, right? And then so, you know, an hour into the carnival goes on, and I'm not fucking around with the ball because I know that is lurking. So I'm just like holding it, and I was like, I'm
What's
just
her
gonna.
full name?
I'm just.
Just keep her. There's one.
Actually, no, there's nothing bad about her in this story, right?
That's fine. We're not using it now.
And then so I was like, I'll just keep it under wraps for now, not let any other teachers see it, and I'll just walk with it.
Yeah.
No harm done. I won't play with it because I know that she's going to call me out for it. And then she walks past, and I'm holding the ball, and I'm sitting down on the floor with 40 of my mates, and I'm holding the ball.
Where's my locker again? I forgot where my locker is.
And she walks past, and she like looks at me with the ball, and she's like, kind of a disappointed look at me, just like.
Well, you did lie.
And she was like, Riley, I told you. And like, I was with all my mates when she told me as well, and all my mates were still there. She was like, Riley, you said that you'll put that in your locker. And I was like, that was the intent. But I got caught up in the chaos, man. So I was so excited to run track. So I
Just like my predecessor McKenna brother has done so well in the past.
Joey, but I forgot about it, right? I forgot about the ball. So I forgot about putting them on.
So you hit back with another lie.
No, I didn't say it. I was just a bit like, oh shit, she's got me here. Like I could have been caught red freaking
balled,
handed, soccer handed, right? And then she says, look, Riley, you know, you literally lied to my face. You disobeyed me. Come see me at recess. You've got a detention.
Nice.
So we did have recess breaks in between all this, right? We had a recess and lunch, which we were back at the school for, right? And then so she was like, come see me at recess. You have detention. Come to the head of your office. You have detention. And I was like, all right, fair enough. But she did like me. So she was like, just hold on to the ball. Maybe put it next to your bag or something under the tent. But don't play with it anymore. I don't want to see you with it again. So I was like, all right, fair enough. I shoved it in my bag, left it for a few hours until
Riley's just bouncing his bag down.
until it was my time to race.
Okay, yep.
And I was like, well, I don't see her around. Yeah, I'm going to bring out the ball. This is the time that I brought the ball for, right? So I brought out the ball, walked it over to the cross-country thing, and then all the students stand around, all 100 boys stand around, and they'd like make us do stretches and stuff. So we're going to pull a hammy.
Yep.
And so there's like 2 teachers chaperoning like the gun that goes off before you start running. And one of them was a Mr. S.
Okay.
Me and Mr. S never got along.
Oh no.
Ever. Beef, right? Straight up beef. And so we had beef. And he saw me with the ball and he was like, that's a vantage point against this kid that I don't like. I'm always telling him to tuck his shirt in and do his tie up. I'm going to go pick on him. So he walked over to me and he was like, mate, what are you doing with that ball? And I was like, but I basically, he was like, you're not allowed to have the ball. What are you doing with it? I was like, I was going to walk with it, sir. And he was like, nah. He was like, nah, you're coming to see me at recess for detention.
You mean I'm already seeing
I'm already
one?
booked.
I've already got a detention.
Like
exactly
when you've
what I
already got
said.
a parking ticket.
I was like, oh, I'm kind of double booked, sir. And then he was like, oh, no. No, he just straight up went, you're coming to see me at recess and lunch for that. Give me the ball. I said, you're coming to see me at recess and lunch. Give me the ball. And I
Yeah, he wanted to hang.
gave him the ball and I was like, I didn't say anything about the other teacher, but I was like, all right, now I'm double booked. And now I've got 3 detentions to go to, 2 at recess, 1 at lunch.
Oh.
So I was like, how the frick am I going to do this? And then we get over there at recess, right? And I walk over I go to his office first because he's a bit more scary. I know I can kind of... Well, no, I went to the nice teacher first, right?
Yeah.
Went to the nice teacher first, Miss P, because I knew I was like, I respect her more. I'm going to him at lunch, you know. I'll have lunch with him. I'll have recess with her. Share my love around the school. You know how it is. Walked over to the nice teacher and she was like, don't be an idiot. Next time, just don't be an idiot. You can go play.
It's fine. Yeah, I love that.
So then walked over to
You can go
Mr.
play.
Mr. S's office. Sat there, had recess with him. Then I went down at lunch to have my second detention. Bloke didn't even show up, so I went down and played fucking footy. I only got 1 detention. I got fucking booked for 3
Oh, that's
weeks.
good.
There you go. That's
That's
not
a
bad.
beat the system.
Sometimes, and the moral of the story is really,
Just lie through your teeth, just at all times.
well, sometimes when things are going,
Know who you can schmooze.
when you're looking at life, and so many crossroads are like cutting into each other, like your plans aren't going to work out. They always just work themselves out. I
They
never did
do,
anything.
yeah.
I didn't say anything. I was just like, I'm just going to shut my mouth, not say anything else, not bring any more balls. I'm just going to see how this plays out.
Do you find it funny how
And it
teachers
played out really well.
like if a teacher saw teachers outside of school, I reckon they're pretty lax. Like I know a fair few. They're very lax individuals.
Yeah.
Once they get into their little school mode, like what you did wasn't anything terrible.
Oh, not at all. I had a soccer ball at
Yeah.
a sports carnival.
Yeah,
Why not?
play ball, literally.
Literally.
See, I just don't know. There's just this power. They're power hungry at times, and they just shit the bed about stuff that they don't really need to concern themselves with. If you walked around with a ball, that's not going to harm anyone.
Yeah, but maybe it's like...
If you punched out a kid, they'll be like, okay, maybe let's do
Yeah, but
something about the kid. Who's
Maybe like, Riley having the ball, that's one thing. But if every single kid at the cross country had sporting equipment,
Oh,
it'd be
yeah.
fucking chaos. There'd be so
Yeah,
much
but-
shit going on.
Will there be?
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, Joe, you're such a
But you're
nerd.
playing devil's advocate here.
I'm
like-
playing devil's advocate, yeah. I'm playing teacher's advocate.
But you literally, like, I don't know, just let them play.
We got in strife. This is a very pathetic story, so we'll go with it.
On your end or the teacher?
A bit of both, but
Classic,
it just
yeah.
became. Well, we had to wear for many a year at high school. We didn't have to wear hats. Like it was just like not really a thing. And then they brought in you have to wear a hat if you want to go out at lunch.
So annoying.
And it's
Like,
like,
why do you, like, I get sunburnt. It's not phasing you, man. Like,
Yeah, it's like...
My big
and
thing.
the caps don't do anything.
My big thing was like, so we were actually hanging out. We were just doing our thing, and then we were like, oh well, we don't have our hats, so we won't go out in the sun because we'll get in strife.
Yeah.
But there's a big tree, 10, 15 meters away. So let's all go and stand in the tree, under the tree. We're in the shade. It's basically like wearing a huge hat.
Yeah.
And one of the teachers come over
Angel.
and like just went to town on us.
What type of teacher?
It may have been Mr. S, to be honest.
Yeah, it probably was.
Just
he
went-
was.
Yeah, he's just a real piece of shit.
Yeah, I
It's
Oh,
so
wait,
shit.
Mr. S. He's one of my favorite teachers,
Oh,
actually.
he was
Why does
the
that not
worst.
surprise?
Because Joe had his hand wrapped around his.
His balls.
Literally.
Now, we're all standing there on the oval under the tree, and he just kicked over. He's like, you guys aren't meant to be on the oval if you're not wearing a hat. And I was like, we're in the shade, dude. And he goes, no, you're on the oval, you're not wearing a hat. And I was like, I understand the premise of what you're saying, but we're not in the sun.
Yeah.
You're not out on the sun. You're not out in the oval, but that's if you're in the sun. We're just in the shade. Just went off his rocker, absolutely threw it out at us. For some reason, it got promoted all the way to
Top.
the principal.
Oh,
And that's
bring in
when
the big gun.
I thought this is a bit extraordinary. Why are we talking about this with the principal? And the principal didn't really have any time to deal with it. And on behalf of the boys, I remember, I think our head of year was just like, hey, just like maybe explain yourself to the principal. And I was only in like year 9, year 10, and I wrote this email to the principal. I was just explaining. I was like, hey, like, really apologize. We didn't think we were actually breaking the rules. We were just standing in the shade because we knew we didn't bring a hat.
Yep.
Thought we'd stand in the shade. Thought we were being fine about
Take
doing
initiative,
that.
yeah.
And the
As a
principal
young
just took my side
17-year-old
like
man.
that. Just jumped, just replied. No, I think she came and like grabbed me out of class, and I was like, oh Lord, this is a whole thing.
Yeah.
And she was
Jake
just
looks like the bad guy.
yeah, and she's just like, spot on.
That's fine.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah,
Really well
it
done.
is-
And I was like, oh, what do you mean? She goes, yeah, like I completely understand what you're doing. That teacher, and it was just like, that teacher's just got to sort of watch out for them because they're a bit stringent on the rules. And I'm like, I understand what the rule is in place for, but we weren't
We weren't disobeying.
No, we were just strategically.
Yeah, they just get pissed for no reason, and they ruin your life. Like,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is interesting.
like people hate
That same
school
teacher
because
had a
of
crack at
them.
us because we didn't have a hat, so we sat in a class. It was a 45-degree day.
Yeah.
He just yelled at us for being on the oval without a hat, so we went and sat in a classroom. And he absolutely shat himself. Oh my God. It's like I literally kicked him in the crotch. The carry on. He immediately grabbed all this and just punted us straight out of the classroom. And we got out the class, and my mates were a little bit. We're all smart asses, especially in this moment.
Yeah.
I vividly remember we got pushed, like he was just like, leave. The moment our foot hit the concrete, we were just like, we're in the sun. We're melting. We're in the sun.
Classic.
Like he's not winning out of.
No.
He's,
Nah.
he's an idiot. Absolute idiot. And we can stand in the sun as long as it's on the concrete. But the moment we hit the grass and we're in the sun,
Yeah.
nah, principal, go see her.
Literally.
Doesn't make any sense.
No. Why did you like him, Joe?
Oh, he's a really good teacher in class. I really liked him.
Yeah. I never had him as a teacher, but I just had him as a kind of an enemy.
There you go. Know your role, play your role.
Boys, one of my friends works at a bakery.
Holy shit.
Nice.
That's right. So obviously, bakery, they make a lot of, like
Dough.
bread, stuff like that. But they
Cakes.
also do cakes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit. What
Probably the fun item, Someone comes in to buy a cake. It's
The novelty.
a celebration,
Yeah.
No one's ever had a sad cake.
I mean,
Or maybe they have.
Do you get cake at a funeral?
I don't know. Did you get a white cake?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
that's we can make that a t-shirt. That could be something. That could be.
that should be the thing we used to end the show.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, so she works at a bakery. Someone had bought a cake. They do like the order in advance.
What's her role? She's not a baker.
She's
No, she's
Front end.
Yeah, front end.
Cashier.
She's a server.
a people's person.
Because the bakers, they have to get up early.
Oh.
Fuck that. So yeah, this guy comes in to pick up the cake, and he's like, "Oh, I'm here to pick up, my cake," and he like gives him the receipt or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool, congratulations, right?" Because obviously, they made the cake, you've got it right, whatever.
Okay.
Happy
yeah.
50th birthday or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you assume, okay, this person's in the know of what this cake is celebrating.
If you're picking up the cake, you know the
Yeah,
you know
very
what
rarely
the cake's about.
that you're going to a cake shop, picking up a surprise cake, right?
Yeah.
So when she said, "Congratulations on your, upcoming baby boy," and the guy was like, "Oh, no, like, what do you?" And she was like, "Oh, the cake, like the blue cake, like
The blue cake I
it's
made.
like the blue, the sponge is all blue." And he was like, "Oh, like, I was meant to find out at the party, the gender reveal
That's not
party."
on her.
Nah, not at all. That's on
Surely
him.
he's not picking up the cake. If you don't know what the
that's-
gender of the kid is.
No, because so the cake is it'll have like, say on the outside it'll be black and white or chocolate or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you
Oh,
cut it
the
open,
inside.
the sponge
Is
is
blue,
blue
or
or
pink.
pink.
There you go.
Is it still her? Is it his fault or her fault?
It's a hard one because I guess with the gender reveal I was like, but then I was like, but how are they organizing that?
Well,
Like
there
they
must
send
have
it
been
in the
a third-
ultrasound, like
Yeah, who
must
discussed
be.
it?
Oh.
They
Who
must.
No, there would be
coordinated
like
the-
an auntie who knows, or like a mum.
Get her to pick the fucking cake
Maybe
up.
she was busy.
It
Surely
must
the person
be-
who orders the cake has to pick it
It
up.
must be some sort of
Yeah.
like they must get the doctor or the whoever does the ultrasound to like write down like it's a boy or
Yeah.
it's a girl.
Well, it comes in like document. I think it
Yeah.
comes in document.
So they must not look at that and then
Probably.
give that to the baker.
They send the cock pic.
yeah,
We can see here.
yeah.
He's got a girth.
He's got a girl.
He's got a growth and a girth. But not a length, unfortunately. The genes.
But yeah, that
the
that
gene
was
pool is weak.
because I always thought I was the same as this guy. I thought gender reveals was like they know. They're revealing it to everyone else.
They know.
they have to.
They
They
know.
know.
Hashtag straight X.
Yeah.
Hashtag they know.
But apparently, so they're like, they're getting the surprise as well, which I guess does make sense because you see the videos and like.
Is it something you care about too much?
I reckon no. I also think it is funny in
it's
these
cute.
videos. There's one thing that I always think is hilarious, right? So it's a gender reveal video. Let's say they've got balloons. They got
Yeah.
white balloons, whatever. They're gonna pop them and then Shit's
Oh,
gonna-
yeah.
Shit's gonna fall. That's classic.
Yeah,
Classic gender reveal prank. Gender reveal prank gone wrong. You pop it and it's black.
oh,
That's
they're
bad
dead.
news. Yeah. That's
That's
because then you have a weight gain.
A blue weight cake. What could have been? Anyway.
Yeah, it's a classic. So like, you know, it's the mum and dad. I'm assuming are up there.
yeah.
And the ones who are celebrating, and they go, "All right, let's go," and they pop it, and then it's blue, and the dad loses his shit. The dad is always so happy. The dad is always so happy when it's a boy.
That's a good point.
He's gonna play. He's going to the AFL. Let's go.
It's actually a good point.
Gonna be everything I
Yeah.
wasn't.
And I notice it more in.
I
obviously,
notice it more that when it's a girl, the dads are quite sheepish.
they're like.
More so than the other way around. They're just
Ooh,
like,
ah.
oh,
It is.
nice.
It's a weird thing though because it's like.
Fucking hell, gotta give this a red hot go again.
It's so the thing that's strange to me about it is like, all right, we're having a kid, obviously, like fucking get around it, it's lit. Like have a baby shower.
It's
or
freaking
whatever.
lit,
Have a
yeah.
baby shower. Get your friends to buy a bunch of crap for the baby. You know, it's a classic business. It's a classic business call.
He's always thinking about the
Yeah.
finances that come with the
It's
It's
baby.
like-
shit on Depop.
It's like having a birthday party,
Mm-hmm.
but you're like, oh, I'm gonna do some renovation. Everyone just buying me shit to do with
The freaking baby.
this stuff I have planned.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But yeah, it is funny because it's like, especially when they do the, you know, it's like a big thing where like they're standing at the front and like everyone like claps and stuff when it's revealed. But it's kind of like, I don't know, you're celebrating, but it's like, does that mean you're happy that it's a girl like or a boy? Like,
I think you're
I feel
clapping
like
either
it's-
way. I don't think half the crowd's not clapping if it's a different result.
yeah, I just think
the
it's
boy.
like,
Oh,
Yeah, it's just
imagine
like-
that. Imagine your life being determined and everyone going, oh.
yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
Betty wanted a girl.
Yeah.
Or if like they say if something happened with ultrasound, they read it wrong or whatever, and then like they show you the videos like, oh, this is the video of your gender reveal. You know, I mean they got it wrong, but still, that's how happy we would have been if you're a boy.
We're big Rugrats fans. Was
Yeah.
there a gender reveal in the Rugrats movie?
No, I actually watched this recently. So there wasn't a gender reveal. They had the baby shower, and then they had the room for the kid, and it was painted.
Yeah,
It was painted blue and pink.
both.
They painted the whole room because they weren't sure.
They halved it.
I think so, yeah.
Do half that doesn't make.
And then they'll just face the baby to whatever.
yeah.
And it is that.
You know what I think the most epic gender reveal is?
What?
When it comes straight out of the womb. That's when you find out.
Yeah.
I reckon that's how I'd want to find out. But the preparation calls for you to be more prepared.
Yeah, that's
Or you
the thing.
could go with the pastels, like a yellow and a purple.
Yeah.
They could kind of fit. Or
But
a
it is-
teal. They
yeah,
could
the
fit
whole
either.
not
or.
wanting to know thing is like,
Mm.
yeah, but like, what are you gonna buy? Like,
What he cares about?
Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, strange.
Nappies as a baby. Doesn't matter. Doesn't need
Huh.
to.
what brand?
It doesn't matter.
Mum dressed me
what-
up as a girl for the first 18 years of my life.
Joe still dresses up as a.
Occasionally, yeah.
We asked the people of Perth: do you hate or do you rate gender reveals? And incredibly, the answers have come back exactly 50-50, which is
Oh.
quite impressive. I wasn't expecting that. I thought there'd be a lot more haters than
Mm.
raters, especially in the world we live in. What do you guys? Where do you sit? Joe sounds like he's he's a lover of it. He loves the
I
gender
love it.
reveal.
Yeah, I live for that. No, I'm not a fan.
After all that, said you really want to know what the reveal is, but you just like the ceremony.
I don't like the
ceremony.
show of it. It's very like, oh, I'm gonna post this on the gram. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
a lot
fair.
of that, a lot of that. But like, really, why else would you have a kid? You know, you gotta get content.
No, I'm for it. I like it. I think it's cool. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Imagine the doctor's just like, boy. Oh, yeah, sick. Anyway, like, I don't know. You gotta make something out of it. Like,
I hope
it's
he does
a
it with a little
life.
bit more.
Yeah, that is a
Grace.
good point.
It's a life-changing thing. Like, it'd be cool to have a party based on your gender.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
That's
I
fun.
would take bets.
gender at birth.
Oh, you'd
Have a
get like a
pool, yeah.
little.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Of course you would, because it would involve
Yeah,
cash,
yeah. The
cash
house,
flow.
Have a bit of fun with
the
it. But
womb always wins.
Jake, do you know what's weird about this 50-50 though? That
Yeah,
it broke out
here we go.
50-50. What are the odds of having a boy or a girl when you have
They're
a
also
kid?
50-50 for
What
those
the
playing on at
I
home.
feel like there's something in that, boys.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think it's like a tiny bit more likely to be a girl.
Real.
I think so. Yeah.
Of course.
There you go.
It's always in the chick's face.
My favorite. I'm not a huge gender reveal guy. I do find some of the videos fucking hilarious though, especially the bogans. I've seen some real good bogan ones.
Yeah.
And it's the boys just doing burnouts, just screwing in the burnouts, got the burnouts going, and then it's a big pink girl, and you just go, this poor thing's got absolutely no hope. Does she?
Do you reckon if you had to do a gender reveal, what would you do?
That's a good question. Without notice,
I would like to take a pill which would make me throw up, either pink or blue, or do a shit.
You take some
and we all hover around it. Do we?
Yeah.
So here we go.
It's almost
a pink or blue shit.
It's an homage to the wonders of childbirth. You're squeezing out the gender reveal.
Just Riley's straining on the grass for a bit while we wait for him to push out a blue log.
What about you, Jake?
I'm not sure, Joe.
I feel like the cake one's good because then you get cake.
But there's no like pop. There's no pizzazz. It's just such a slow like. The people who cut it are just gonna be like, oh
Yeah.
You know, it's like everyone's gonna see it at the exact same time. That's the cool part.
Yeah, I've never actually thought about it.
Maybe like a rogue fire. Like fireworks are illegal here. But if you set one off, like they're not gonna find you. You launch one pink firework into the a flare or something.
I was at work on New Year's and this guy came over to me and he was like, "Do you have what's the stuff called?"
Be less specific.
Yeah, it's like you use it to scrub dishes clean.
Oh,
it's like silver wire.
Steel cloth.
Yeah, steel cloth. Yeah, some guy was like, "Do you have 3 kilos of steel cloth?"
Yeah. Pink as well. I'm going to elaborate gender reveal I'm trying to plan.
And I was like, "Yeah, it's just the man." And then he was like, he was like, "Cool, yeah, I work in a
mental institution,
a rogue area," and he was just like, "Welcome, yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he was like, "Making fireworks." On New Year's Eve. And I was like,
He told you. I think you had to report.
I was like,
buy like, aren't there like the list of things? So it's like if they buy this, they're making math report. If they're buying this,
it's a bomb.
It's a bomb. This one's fireworks.
And if they actually say to you, "I'm making fireworks," just let management know.
yeah, I was like, where are you gonna be? What suburb?
What time? I'll see you there.
What suburb? And he was like,
You'll see.
You'll see. Yeah.
Nah, legit.
You'll hear about it on the news, buddy.
Basically.
I think a good one would be maybe like a paintball.
Oh yeah,
Like
get shot in the dick.
Yeah, you just like launch it into the crowd. And it's all pink balls. Yeah.
Oh god.
Maybe you could fire it at the most
Or
elderly person as a little symbol for like out with the old and in with the new.
You engineer the paintballs in such a way where they're actually not the color, but it's the color of the bruise. So in a couple days,
everyone will know.
There you go. Yeah, that's actually smart.
Alrighty, boys. Been doing a little bit of advertising at the current role that I'm in.
Yes,
at the moment.
Classic
you. Head of marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. Who would have freaking thought?
Because we have an open day for the corporation that we're at.
Fantastic.
We're a membership only place.
Oh,
This is a day that's open to the public, so everyone's pretty excited.
Oh, the Pommos.
Oh, the Pommos.
Yeah, we're letting all the
riffraff.
We're letting
So Riley's gang from work.
Yeah.
You got fireworks outside today?
We are letting in the great unwashed for this event.
Yeah. Do all the members not come?
Yeah.
They hate the event.
Oh, you mean closed day?
It's a great event, I've been told, but it's basically myself and my dear partner in crime's job to make sure that we get as many
legends. That's why you're invited, the MacPack.
Many legends involved on the day to come and experience all that we have to offer.
Frick yeah.
At this very prestigious
Fantastic.
place.
So what are you doing for the marketing?
Well, we've done just let's not get into the fucking
the nitty gritty.
Yeah, okay.
On this day.
Yep.
Don't want to give away all the secrets, mate.
Yes.
Went to uni for 3 years. I don't just want to just dish it out for free.
Yeah, which was what you were doing with the advertise.
On this day, it was the time to go and do a little bit of A little bit of like curb stomping, right? We're really
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
really gonna step
Door
on
knocking.
the step on the cement. Really just get to know the people of Fremantle
Yep.
and go for a trundle through the guts, dishing out little flyers that
Yes. Old school.
Oh, that is old school.
that we had designed.
Get a bit of a connection with you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting rural. We're taking it back to the roots.
Give them a roach.
And so we were doing a fair bit of this. We got I think you would have seen, we had the paste.
Posters, yeah.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you
sick.
allowed to? Do you need to get like permit to do that?
It doesn't appear so. We didn't. So I don't know. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah. I always wondered because they were like the walls where that
Paste is
happened.
That's where we were. Yeah, well, that was the whole thing. There was a bit of a question. It's like, oh, do you need to ask anyone? And I was like, no, just
let's
fucking
find
do
out.
it. Yeah, let's just do it, and then I guess we'll know for next time if we
Yeah.
need to ask if that needs to be done.
Best way to do things. Just do it.
So we're out in Fremantle, dishing out the flyers,
Yep.
doing all that shit, and we come out of a lunch.
Yep.
We had a little bit of a luncheon on our journey.
Whereabouts, mate?
No, we just had a luncheon. All right. Let's not get into the deets. Had a luncheon.
Good on you.
It's not a paid gig. And we stroll out. We stroll out, and we're just like loving it. We're just about to start the big walk across Fremantle, right?
Yeah.
With 800 odd flyers
Flyers.
in hand, right? The
Fuck, yeah.
most well experienced, well paid
Paper out.
paper out you've ever witnessed. We come strolling out, and there's this woman who approaches us. She's quite a dishevelled young lady, and nor she's.
She was a lovely woman.
She was about, look, I'll push the button, say 65, 70.
Yeah.
Could easily have been 75.
Yeah.
She comes over, she's got like tracky pants on, she's got slippers.
Oh, yeah, cool. Just relaxing on a Monday.
She looks like she's like just jumped out of bed, which is fine. It's often the Fremantle way.
Yeah.
She had a huge face mask that was covering up, I would say, 75 to 80% of her face,
A balaclava is the
which
name.
was quite
No, no,
terrifying.
actually.
It
Like,
was
almost like one of the beard ones.
it was like one of those ones that you get at Bunnings, and it's like this huge
Oh, yeah.
like fly wasp thing
Oh,
going
yeah.
on,
I've
this
seen
massive white thing.
Okay.
It was full on. Like you could only just make out her eyes. Her hair was absolutely like frazzled.
Oh, cool.
And I'm like, oh my god! And she sort of she didn't come at us
So
straight.
she's a trendsetter.
She didn't come at us in a straight line. She sort of went like a bit of sideways action.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my god, the locals are really
They're on
are
it
in.
today.
They're on the gear. I'll have what you're
It was Friday afternoon.
You want to come to the...
It was Friday afternoon.
It's free.
Here's a flyer and get fucked.
So anyway, so she just approached us, and because she's got the mask thing on, she just like says words, but all I can hear is, and I was like, oh god, here we go. She's seen a poster, and so we followed up and we're like, sorry, go again in English this time, and then she let us know, and she goes, do one of you have a key? And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? How's this gonna end?
She's going to key you.
Yeah.
And we're two young lads, like we're 20, in our mid-20s.
Young-ish.
Young to mid-20s.
Halfway to 50.
And she's approached us, and I've just gone, oh my god, what's going on? She goes, I've locked my keys in my car. And I was like, oh, okay, beautiful. Luckily, the bloke I'm with is pretty savvy. He knows what he's doing.
He's a go guy.
He's a man's man.
He's
And
a
he's
car
he's a
guy.
car guy as well.
Yeah,
He's a
good
man's
on
man
him.
and he's a car guy. And he starts just getting his key and jamming it in her car door to try and unlock it. Which was
Even I know, not a car guy. Those keys, they only go in your car.
No, but not always, apparently. Apparently, if you just have a key, you can just like wiggle it, and sometimes it'll just pop open. You don't need a specific.
There you go.
What?
Apparently that's the
What
thing.
the fuck?
So we're trying that.
Good
He's
life
trying the
there.
window thing because some windows you can just slide down. His window, for
yeah.
example,
You can just slide it down.
he just goes like he was sitting. Eventually, we get into his car,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, "Yeah, normally I just do this," and he just literally just put his hand on his window and just went like that, and the whole fucking window just came down. I was like, "Well, that was cool and very unsafe." But
That's fucked.
I've only been able to do that with my broke. But anyway, go on.
so we're standing there with this woman. We can't really assist her because the key thing didn't work.
Oh my
We're all doing the window thing. That didn't work. I
Yeah.
tried to get in the boot. That obviously didn't work. There was just a lot of like trial and error things.
Yeah, didn't get it.
Looking at this lady, and I was like, okay, what's the story? What are you going to do?
So what? She's locked her car.
She's locked her keys
Keys
in her
in
car. She's got like a handful of like a box of shit with her.
Oh my god.
not literal thief
Oh, okay.
matter.
Is it covered?
And I was just like,
Yeah.
she goes,
Is that a boy?
she's standing there, and she obviously looks like quite
Fucked.
undressed.
Hi.
Well, not
Ooh.
just gross. Not
Oh.
no, know what I mean. Like she didn't
Yeah.
come. She wasn't.
She listens.
She wasn't coming out for a big day, right? She was just like,
She was
get
having a big
popped
day.
out to pick
She,
something
yes,
up.
exactly. She was still
Yeah, get back home, get on the gear.
Not quite. She was so nice. She was actually quite like posh.
Yeah, because
sort of.
she's high.
And anyway, so I worked out. I was like, well, surely this bitch can't be living like too far from here, right? She hasn't made the journey into Freo. She's like rolled into Freo, right? I was like, whereabouts are like? Do you have a spare key? Whereabouts do you live?
What's the go?
Yeah. And so she says, I just live in Hammy Hill. And I was like, okay, that's not too far away from here.
Also dodgy.
Is there a spare key there? And she just looked at me and goes, I was meant to look last week. And I was like, that's not an answer. And I was like, do you think there will be a spare key? And she goes, well, there's definitely one for my house. I was like, again, that's not going to help. She goes, but there might be one for the car. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll go and have a geese. Because like, I don't know. It's not like we weren't doing anything, but I felt I can't just leave this old lady here.
Yeah, she's on the gear.
And so my mate goes and grabs the car and he spins around and I just quickly approached the chick and I was like, well, how long have you been standing here? Like days? And she goes, a while, like a couple, maybe like 40 minutes or so. I was like, wow, that's a long time. She's like, yeah, I was like, what's the story? She goes, I was just waiting for like someone that looked nice enough to actually help me. And I was like, oh, well, that's like...
So I had to settle.
Everyday
That
hero.
was really sweet. Anyway, she was quite frazzled because she then just went to put her box of goods under the car. And I was like, well, what are you doing? And she goes, I'll just leave them here. I was like, just bring them. Like, what do you mean?
We're going to your house.
We're not charging extra for
No.
baggage.
Anyway, it was a bit awkward. Getting in the car was a bit awkward. The bloke's car's quite high.
Oh, you need help.
I get in the back. She sort of followed me in the back, and I was like, no, you like jump.
No, you got a shocker.
You got to jump in the front. You got to show us where to go, yeah? And then she like struggled to get in the car because it was way too high up and there's no foot.
If she
area.
sits behind you, that's a vantage point. She could choke you both out before you even realise.
She gets in and then she turns to the driver of the car and just goes, like that was she's like, well, that's a long way up. And we're like, oh, we just sort of had a bit of a laugh. And she goes like, I broke my hip only like a couple of weeks ago or months ago. And I was like,
I was high as fuck and I found a fall.
And I was like, oh, Jesus, if this woman gets hurt on our watch, because then we get to her house. It's like a fucking 10-minute drive. We get to her house and she like jumps out, but with no real confidence. Like,
I thought you meant she's just throwing caution into the wind.
oh no, like she just
yeeting
like
off.
slowly made her way down, and I was like, fuck, if she goes over here,
We're driving.
that's the week done. Like we're finished up. She walks inside. At that point I was lost at laughing. Bloke in front is just like pissing himself as well. Now I was like, man, do you reckon there's any chance that she's got a spare key? And he, without me even finishing, says, he goes, not a fucking chance in hell has she got a spare key in this house. She finally gets in, and then after 5-10 minutes, she comes out shaking her head, and I was like, beautiful. Okay, we're
So she went into the house?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And she's got this huge fuck off dog as well that's like barking and barking at us. I'm sitting there going, oh,
Gotta
Lord.
protect the gear.
And we finally just go, all right, well, shit, that's fine. We'll just
So she
drive.
didn't have the key.
Nah, so we've
Bitch.
spent 20-30 minutes, drive back,
Lovely
drop
guy.
her off at the place at her car, and we're like, okay, well, you just can just call RAC. And she goes, oh, I'm not with RAC. And we're like, okay,
Jeez.
Here we go.
That
cool.
was a mistake.
And
Have a
we're
good
like,
one.
we're like, okay, splendid.
There's two mistakes in a row.
Not much we can do
Yeah,
about.
what do
that.
you do if you're not with RAC?
Well, then we're
Get a
like,
rock
if you
or
just call, then like you can pay for RAC to come and help. So we're like, oh, we can do that. And she's like, oh, I don't have a phone either. And we're like, okay, this is really shaping up quite nicely. So the bloke I'm with, lovely guy, just he's on the phone to RAC. He's doing all the legwork.
Yeah.
I'm just like laughing and trying to hide my laughter behind cars and oncoming traffic. Eventually, he just goes, we got to start handing out this shit, right? I'm just like red raw laughing. And he gives her phone. His phone, sorry. And she's just like chatting to RAC. And we just went up and down the street. And I was like, you cool with her just having your phone? And he's like, yeah, that's all right. We go back after like 10, 15 minutes to check on her.
She's gone.
No, she's not gone. But she's just standing there like still talking on the phone. I was like, oh, we can wait.
That's
And he's like,
innocent.
no, we'll just keep going. We went for like another 40 minutes. We finally came back around. The chick is in the car now. Still got his phone, and he's just like sitting there. RAC's come and done the whole thing. I was saying to him, the car though, because apparently they were trying to make her pay for a year's worth of RAC. I don't know how much that is, but I'm sure it's more expensive than the car actually cost.
Yeah.
The car was a genuine bomb, and I was like, man, a window would cost maybe $60 in this car, like not much. We could easily just throw an elbow through this thing, and that would save us so much more money than getting RSC for a car that's like probably got days left anyway. Anyway, we all hand it back. It's all good. She's coming to the open day. I gave her. Gave her a flyer to her.
So if you want to meet her,
like, I'm 100% coming, and I was like, okay, cool, that's exciting. She wanted to call our place of business and be like, hey, I just want to like.
No, we're meant to be working.
Yeah.
No. They don't even know we're doing this flyer thing.
Well, that's what she said. She goes, I'd love to like call if you've got like a number I'll call. Didn't feel comfortable doing that, especially what phone she going to call on his phone.
This dude's like Nan is telling us that he's a great guy.
And so that didn't really happen in the end, but she's coming to the open day, so she can explain.
I kind of want to go now. I want to meet this lovely lady.
She can explain the stories to everyone. But yeah, it was just like a real
It's
vibe.
a good deed you did.
It was a great deed.
And then you balanced that out by
here we go.
Making fun of her on a international podcast.
There you go. Well, swings and roundabouts. Alrighty, boys, it's time for our favourite weekly segment. It's our only weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday Hero. Now, this week's Everyday Hero goes to a whole group of individuals who were handy enough to help us out this last weekend, in fact.
Yes.
Holy shit.
What did they do, Jake?
We shot a finals little video for the AFL finals series that's taking place. Well, would have taken place last night at the end of this recording because this comes out on the Friday, and there'll be a game of footy on the Thursday night. The video will hopefully come out before then, but essentially we wanted to build a character for each team that's currently in the finals.
But with characters come costumes.
Exactly.
And with costumes comes
buying things.
Yes, and with buying things comes money.
And only Joe has money. So.
And Joe is not willing to fork it. So we had to reach out to the friends and family and to the people.
The people of Perth.
The people of the pack. The people of Perth.
So we were incredibly thankful to have the likes of Carlton supporter Ben Wright, who gave us his jersey for the afternoon.
Bravo.
Alana Carroll, who gave us some beautiful scarves, courtesy of the Geelong Cats.
Bravo.
We had
Kay Gitzaroni,
friend of the show, who gave us a Ben Cousins
edition
Richmond jersey, which we absolutely
was
love.
very, very small.
Thank you.
Tiny. I didn't know they made merch.
Bravo.
We had, what was your mate's name, Joe?
Ricky Morrow with the Swans gear.
Ricky Morrow.
A diehard Swan head indeed.
Gave us some of the Swans kits. We had Andrew Marolo, who gave us the Bulldogs jersey. And was quite disappointed that we didn't ask for the Freo stuff. We already had Freo stuff. We already had Melbourne stuff. We already had Collingwood stuff.
Of course.
And then the last call came through. I was playing golf with a good friend and a hopefully soon to be friend of the show, official friend of the show, Mr. Tom Meert. We were playing golf and I went, mate, you wouldn't happen to know anyone that would have a Queenslander jersey?
As in the rugby.
Or as in the rugby. The Maroons. The Maroonies. And he went, there'll be a girl that I haven't spoken to in quite some time who I'll just ping a message to in classic Meert form.
And did we get it or did we not get it?
Oh, we got it. We got her home address. We got her home address as well, which is...
And
we did a pop by.
It'll be on the screen right now.
There you go. So that was an interesting one. So I actually ended up going there, just into this random woman's house. And she was just like, just come through, man. So there I am sitting in her kitchen and we're just talking about maroon stuff.
Yeah.
I was pretty quick to leave. My favourite was when she's just like, like, what are you guys going to use it for?
Just to wear?
For fun? For fun, man.
Cheeky fun, mate.
So thank you to everyone who quickly, because we basically just thought of the idea in the shower on a Saturday.
We were all showering.
Yeah, we're all in the shower.
We're trying to save water.
You know what? If we can't even afford a shower, we're not going to be able to afford jerseys. So
yeah, we were, you got to get each other's back sometimes.
Yeah, that bottomless lab money has run out.
So thank you to everyone who has supported the MacPack podcast.
You're all heroes.
And got back to us in fine form. Some people message me and I leave it from days. Just leave them for days.
Yeah, I don't remember.
If someone had done that to me, I'd just be like, hey, so the Sydney...
You're not borrowing my stuff.
And like AFL jerseys, expensive.
They're not cheap.
And it's
Like
a relevant
over
time.
100
Like everyone that we've currently like,
Oh, this is cool. This is when you want to be wearing your freaking
Yeah.
jersey, and these are the finals.
and we're not
jerseys.
giving any of this shit back.
Oh
either,
no!
so-
I like to donate it to the shows. Like,
Because we want to wear the teams
this
who
is
are playing in the game.
it's $1,000 worth of clothing.
to
we got donated.
unknowingly just give us
Yeah.
shirts. What a absolute moment.
It's just
Because
best people, man.
So thank you so much to the people of Perth, all of our friends who were able to assist.
We might
Hopefully the
give
video is somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, check it out.
If not, fuck yous, basically.
If you haven't seen it already, check it out on the MacPack TikTok and Instagram.
There you
at
go.
The MacPack Podcast.
There you go. We can't let that one peter out because then we've screwed.
yes.
We've screwed the purge.
Yeah. It's only going to be relevant for a couple more days, so make sure you get around it. So this week's Everyday Hero goes to all of the lovely people who donated their jerseys to us for this week. Thank you. Alrighty, boys, that actually brings us to the end of another episode of the MacPack Podcast. But before we go this week,
Holy shit! Stop.
we just want to do a quick shout out to Ben Broadhurst. Benny Broadhurst might very well be the youngest listener we have on the podcast. He's been a listener for over a year now. He got in contact with us early days.
Yes.
Yep.
I think he's a Margaret River boy from memory.
Yeah, from Moggs.
Moggs.
If his Instagram bio is to believe.
Yeah, is that what it says?
Yes,
there you
Margaret
go.
River.
Ben is celebrating his 14th birthday this
Happy
week.
birthday, you
So we just
legend.
want to say a massive happy birthday to Ben. We don't often do shout outs, but Ben is an absolute champion.
Yeah, to do segments, to do shout outs, you need to give us a jersey or be a legend.
And Ben didn't give us a jersey, which means he's an
An
absolute
absolute
legend.
Go, Benny. Happy birthday, brother. Have a
so-
ripper. Have a beer.
No, probably don't. Probably don't.
Maybe. Wait a few years.
Yeah, Benny, when you turn 18, come up for it.
Yeah.
We'll have a pint with you, bro.
How old will I be when I'll be nearly 30?
Hey,
yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Additionally, footy's on this week.
Oh.
And Ben's a Carlton fan, so condolences to Ben. Celebrations and condolences to Ben.
Sorry, Ben.
Thursday night fixture.
Mm-hmm.
We got Brisbane versus Richmond. Who wins?
Richmond.
The Mighty Tigers.
I'm going to go Richmond as well. Hate Brisbane. Just hate them.
Oh,
Friday night, we have Melbourne and Sydney.
Oh.
Melbourne takes the game. Oh, actually, no. I reckon Swans in an upset.
Lukey Jackson and the Mighty D's. Got to back him
I
in.
think the Mighty D's.
I hope they win.
Then we have Collingwood and Geelong.
You got to
Fuck
give
me
it to
dead.
the Fires.
You got to give it the Fires. If they're going to win this game, and it's going to basically say we're winning the whole thing.
I love it. I agree. So we just gone, everyone's the same this far?
No, I said the Swans.
Okay. And then lastly, we've got Bulldogs playing Fremantle at Opera Stadium on Saturday night. I'll be there with my lovely mother.
Yes.
Who wins?
Well, it depends on the weather, but I gotta go Freo. I'm wearing the shirt.
Gotta go to the Docks.
I want Freo to win, so I'm going to speak it into existence.
Gotta go to the Docks.
Freo.
All right, well, there are our tips for this weekend's football. Hope you all enjoy the game.
Fucking oath.
The games.
Yes.
Boys, we done?
I think we're done.
How do we think this one went?
Yeah, good.
High energy. I feel like it was real high energy.
Yeah, into our hundreds. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we're in.
101.
We're off. Boys, absolute pleasure with the new studio's coming. We even bought chairs. There's stuff happening at the new studio.
Shout out to the Officeworks gang.
Shout out to the Officeworks team who absolutely enjoyed us just rolling around on chairs for the best part of 2 hours. We didn't get any passive aggressive looks from them or a guy walking around kicking chairs from underneath us or any of that.
Me climbing on the decks in.
The what?
The racking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you know words.
There you go.
We have fun.
Yeah,
Anyway.
unofficial sponsor. If you haven't got bottom slab pants yet, do that. What is the password?
MacPack.
They tell us to speak about them
MacPack
again.
10.
MacPack 10, maybe.
Alright,
Give it a whirl.
Hey,
See what it
is
gets
Jake
ya.
getting extra cash for speaking
Yeah.
about him 3 weeks in a row?
See what it gets. I'm really enjoying
I
the
thought they were
pants.
a 1 week sponsor.
I wear the pants like quite frequently to work. I love them. They're nice and tight.
Jake's got a side gig.
They're like, yeah, they're good.
Unless they're paying us more.
If you want to use just the code JakeRogs 20, you
Jake's
get 20,
cock.
you get 20% off. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure until we do so this time next week. Maybe in the new studio, but probably not. Just remember to stay safe. Stay worse than always. Remember
Thank
too.
you, mama.
It's tough now, but not forever. Good start. That wasn't our worst.